Nick Lives, indie developer and second timer on the channel, has just come out with a new analog horror adjacent game, and by God, do I love it. Keeping up with the Nick Lives style of development, Home Safety Hotline has that quirky humor and very surrealist world that we've come to expect from him, now all wrapped together in this incredible catalog of oddball monsters set to the gameplay of this lo-fi 90s job simulator. The idea of Home Safety Hotline is you're a new employee working at HSH. Your job is to answer clients' concerned calls about creatures inhabiting their homes. Through their explanations, you pick apart the clues and symptoms to eventually diagnose them with one of the countless creatures that could be the pest. The average experience for Home Safety Hotline goes a little something like this. Home Safety Hotline, this is Pat speaking. You say your house doesn't have any heating. It took Grandpa's leg. And your kid's teeth hurt. Okay, hold please. Huh. No leg, no heating, kid's teeth. Sir, you still there? Yeah, you've got a leprechaun. I'll fax you over a pamphlet. Have a good day. Patty, you really outdid yourself with that one. Calls aren't always so easily deduced though. As you progress through your work week, you'll begin to gain deeper access to the HSH database, leading to much more complex creatures with similar traits and characteristics. And some of these calls get really hard. The callers may be giving you information that might relate to multiple creatures at once, but there's just one key difference that if you're not paying attention to, could lead you to getting the wrong answer. By the end of the game, you're left with 70 entries you could be selecting from, which isn't that bad. You just have to comb through the archives until you find something you think it might be, and then compare the data until you eventually get your answer. That would be the case if the company's portal didn't go down on the second day. Now, it isn't every call, and it will come back after it goes down, but after your shift on Tuesday, you run the chance of answering a call and not having any access to the archives, putting you into a position where you really need to start learning these creatures and what differentiates the ones that are similar from each other. And I absolutely love this feature. Not only does it add more of a challenge to the game, it also forces the player to be invested in learning about these monsters, which are all absolutely brilliantly designed with descriptions, the dangers they pose, and even the solutions on how to get rid of them. Some of them even have audio made just for them. A few of my favorites are the Night Gnome. Night Gnomes are small, hairy creatures with a pointed head. They are known for their tendency to enter the sleeping quarters of humans to watch them while they sleep. Homeowners affected by Night Gnomes frequently report sighting them in the middle of the night or report heavy breathing sounds during late hours. Danger. Night Gnomes are not known to be deadly to humans, but those who suffer from heart conditions should consider wearing sleeping masks to prevent being startled by their presence. Solution. Night Gnomes will move on to other homes if they become bored or restless by your inhabitants' sleeping activities. There is no guarantee, however, that they will become bored by you if they find your sleep sufficiently entertaining. Cellar Grotto. Cellar grottos are large cave-like networks known to sometimes appear spontaneously in cellars and basements. Homeowners with cellar grottos will often report a bad smell coming from the basement, higher humidity in the home, and a notable increase in large beetles, frogs, and related pests. Danger. Cellar grottos can introduce a number of dangerous pests into the home, and the heightened humidity they introduce can cause warped floorboards, weakened foundation, and other hazards. Solution. Cellar grottos can be removed by finding their creator and presenting them with a gift of gold. Their creator often resides somewhere within the grotto's subterranean lake. For safety, bring splunking and snorkeling equipment on your excursion, or consider utilizing HSH's grotto removal team. And lastly, the false rosebush. False rosebushes are large plant-like creatures that most commonly take on the appearance of a red rosebush. In place of roots, these creatures have two small humanoid feet that they use to chase down their prey. Homeowners with false rosebushes sometimes report missing pets or children. Danger. False rosebushes pose incredible danger to homeowners with children or pets, as their diet consists of small mammals, and they are known to be fast and effective hunters. Homeowners without children or pets face a reduced risk, as they cannot swallow whole anything larger than themselves. Solution. To remove a false rosebush from a garden they have inhabited, it is advised to keep children or pets from venturing outside within its hunting range for an extended period. If false rosebush goes more than 1 month without eating, it'll move on to a new territory on its own. These creatures are also creatively bizarre and also at times totally terrifying. It's just such a blast learning about them and their characteristics, to then get a caller who's being bothered by one, like this old lady in the Night Gnome.
The police told me to call this number, so I hope I got the right number here. Anyway, I think somebody is stalking me. I can see their shadow at night at my window, just staring into the house. When I close the window, I can still hear him out there, breathing. I've been sleeping on the couch every night this past week, just so he won't see me. The police said they can't do anything, so please, send somebody or do something about this. I can hardly sleep anymore.
It's such an aha moment whenever you just immediately know the creature. It really helps immerse you into this world. Like, you really feel like this expert who is diagnosing and fixing these people's problem, which feels so much better whenever the database does go down and you just immediately know the answer. Immersion is a really big thing that this game does well. From the time you launch it, you're set to the backdrop of this older computer OS. There's this dust on the monitor that you can vaguely see, and everything is paletted in these greens and grays on top of these big boxy windows that look very authentically Windows 98. The entry page takes a little bit to load, and it loads vertically as if we were on a slower internet. On top of all of that, this game has one of the best uses of chromatic abrasion that I've seen from a game like this. So many games have that CRT filter, and it's so abrasive it just hurts your eyes to use, ultimately hindering the experience. The use here is so faint, it's around the borders of the screen, on the entry name. It's there enough that it delivers the feeling of a CRT monitor incredibly well, but it isn't overdone enough to completely hinder the experience like we see with so many other games. All of this combined, if you're really focusing on the game and getting into it, you'll be so immersed that you feel like you are an actual call center employee, which is absolutely terrifying depending on what calls you're getting. I've yet to talk about when you fail a call. Whether you successfully give the right info or not, nothing happens immediately. You always have this lingering feeling of, uh-oh. It could be the next call, it could be several calls down the line, but if you mess up, you'll hear back from the client. This could be in the form of them angrily calling you.
Hey, yeah, Paul here again. Thanks a bunch for nothing, pal. I followed the instructions you sent, they did jack. I ain't gotten a wink of sleep. My kids are breaking out in all sorts of rashes. See you never.
Them calling back rather chill, telling you, hey, you messed up.
I got good news and bad news. Bad news is the info you sent wasn't any help at all, so, thanks for that. Good news is I found Goblin. She freaking came crawling out of that hole with a big bump on her head or something, so I'm taking her to the vet now. But, yeah. Thanks for trying, I guess.
Or in one of my most chilling calls, I had this. A woman called in a very flustered state.
Please help me. The police refuse Please hold.
In my mind, the only thing I could remember taking children was the false rosebush. And now, she talked about bees and wasps, which kind of threw me off, but if you had a giant rosebush hiding in your closet, it'd probably have some bees around it because it's a flower. So I submit the false rosebush confidently and go along with my shift, answering several callers before I eventually get a call back. I'd messed up. While my explanation of missing children and the possibilities of bees because of a rosebush made sense in my head, what I'd overlooked was the false artifact. False artifacts are seemingly human-designed objects that can manifest suddenly in a home. They are known for making gentle buzzing sounds that can usually only be heard by very young human children or small animals. Homeowners with false artifacts often report out-of-place objects or missing children or pets. Danger. False artifacts, while not a direct threat to adult humans, can pose a significant risk to small human children and animals. Should a child or pet be left alone with a false artifact, they are at risk of being encased within. Once encased, no noise made by the prey can be heard, while digestion can take upwards of several years to complete. Starvation can be a more pressing concern. There's a child who is now encased in this object, slowly being digested, but more than likely dying of starvation before that occurs. And I got to hear the sounds of a grieving mother because I gave her the wrong information. This game at times can be absolutely terrifying once you've read the entries and understand what risks these people are actually in. Like, there's a small plot line revolving around these creatures called Hobbs. There's various forms of them, but they all basically clean, and if not treated correctly, can metamorphosis into what is called a Bogart. You get a frustrated caller saying when he called previously, we sent him some kind of joke, telling him to leave out a plate of cream, which he didn't do. Now he's left without any power. Well, the solution for Hobbs is, Hobbs cannot be compelled to leave on their own. Once nested in a home, instead, one should take measures to prevent provoking metamorphosis by leaving out a bowl of cream or milk at night. Something that this man did not do, solely thinking we were pranking him. It's notable because Bogart's other danger is they can cause power outages. Bogarts are extremely dangerous to humans and pets due to their malicious nightly household activities, which can often cause injury or death. They also react very violently when seen by humans, but thankfully, these instances are rare, as they excel at staying hidden. Solution: do not under any circumstance refer to an active Bogart by any name. Once you become aware of its presence, simply vacate the premises, provided you do not speak of the Bogart at any time. In any fashion, it will remain in its original location. This man already didn't believe in Hobbs, so it is incredibly likely that the Bogart is going to kill him shortly after our phone call with him. It's the little horrors in this game that really dig into you, like our previous example with the old woman and the night gnome. Night gnomes are practically harmless. The only danger that they do pose is startling somebody with a bad heart, like an old lady, into having a heart attack. It's not all horror though in Home Safety Hotline. We still have that iconic, goofy, quirky humor that you would see in those night signal TV stations. From the prank callers going on incoherent rambles about needing 50 gallons of orange drink.
Rubber here. I need to place an order of 60 gallons of orange drink here. I got a big old party I'm setting up here at the studio, and we're gonna need that orange drink to... too many mouths to feed, you know what I mean?
Or Buzz Goober with his whippers and snappers and yelping and whining and I can't get a lick of sleep. There's also this subplot of someone emailing you in very broken English telling you to get out of your job right now, to when we have a science mystery video appearing on your desktop talking about hyper-intelligent rats, which all culminates in this mysterious emailer getting removed from the company premises. Even the main storyline of the game ends on an incredibly humorous high note, with you being promoted to junior supervisor, which cuts into a musical number by Forest Goblins as the credits roll.
Our new junior supervisor!
Mind you that this is after dragging you through a bizarre, creepy cult hard mode of the game where the entry reader is completely turned off and you're given riddles which you have to decipher as one of the entries. Home Safety Hotline skates that line between me being so immersed and absolutely terrified by its world to me laughing at its whimsy and just absolutely otherworldly nature. There's truly no other developer that could have made this game aside from Nick Lives. He took everything that worked in Night Signal and just amplified it to 11. Today is the launch day of Home Safety Hotline, and Nick so graciously gave me an early access key to it. I was under no obligation to make this video, but after playing it, I dropped everything I was doing because I wanted to share some of it with you. I've left out a ton of the meat and potatoes of the game and just really condensed everything to give you the best view of what you can expect from this game. If this piques your interest in any way, I really implore you to go support Nick because he really deserves it. I had an absolute blast with this game, as well as his last game, Night Signal, which I'd previously made a video on. If you can't support him financially, go check out his short horror film, The Vanishing of S.S Willie. I'm sure that you'll love it. Imagine like analog horror, but it is a 1920s short film that is inspired by the now public domain Steamboat Willie cartoon. The links to all of these will be in the description, as well as my own personal social links. I've been your host, Pat Ratrick, and until next time, can I put you on hold, please?